Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive into Real Estate by Team Laddi Dhillon. This is the place where we simplify real estate for you, one topic at a time. Enjoy.
All right, imagine this scenario. Happens all the time, right? You finally get the keys to your new place, you're over the moon, maybe measuring for curtains.
Doing the happy dance.
Totally. And then you spot it, the water heater looks normal enough until that first bill lands. And bam, surprise, you're renting it. It's like discovering a surprise roommate who only communicates via invoice.
It really is a classic home buying plot twist. And it's amazing how often it catches people off guard. That excitement, it can hit a bit of a speed bump when you realize you didn't just buy a house, you might have inherited this ongoing relationship with an appliance company.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We're going to unpack the whole world of rental water heaters and maybe some other things lurking in Canadian homes. This is especially for you if you're looking in Peel region. So Brampton, Caledon, Mississauga.
Yeah, it's crucial info for that area.
Definitely. We're part of Laddi Dhillon's real estate team, by the way. And our whole goal here is just to share solid info, help you make smart decisions, whether you're thinking of buying, selling, maybe investing.
Laddi's got tons of experience, right? Since 2007 in Peel.
Since '07, yeah. He's seen pretty much everything in the Peel market. So honestly, if you're making moves there, give Laddi a call first. Seriously, talk to him before you sign anything. Think of this chat as your guide to the sometimes weird, sometimes funny side of homeownership.
And it's so important, especially for anyone new to the market. Understanding these rental deals up front, it's like dodging a financial curveball later on saves a lot of headaches.
Totally. Okay, so let's get into it. Why? Why are people renting appliances? It seems kind of backwards, doesn't it? Buying a whole house but renting the water heater.
Well, a lot of the time, especially with new builds, pre-construction homes, the builders actually set these agreements up beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's often a way to keep the initial advertised purchase price a bit lower. Turns a big upfront cost for the appliance into a smaller monthly fee.
Ah, I see. So it's like, welcome to your new home, and here's your first subscription for hot water. So what's typically in these agreements? What are the key details?
Okay, so you usually have a monthly fee. For water heaters, it's often in the ballpark of $20 to $50 a month, maybe a bit more sometimes.
Right.
A big selling point is that they often include maintenance and repairs. So if it breaks, they fix it. That could be good.
Okay, that's a plus.
But you also have a contract term, and these can vary wildly, a few years sometimes, 10, even 15 years.
Wow, 15 years.
Yeah. And importantly, there's usually a buyout option. So a way to pay it off and own it if you decide you don't want to rent anymore.
Okay, so water heaters are the main culprits, the usual suspects. Are there other appliances that might be on a rental plan?
Oh, yeah. Water heaters are the most common for sure. But you can definitely find HVAC systems. So your furnace, your air conditioner on rental agreements too.
The whole system?
The whole system sometimes. And water softeners are another one. Even sump pumps in some cases.
Sump pumps? You're kidding. The thing keeping your basement dry could be a rental. That's wild.
It happens. It really shows how common these rental models have become for essential home equipment.
Okay, so who are the companies behind these? Who are we sending these monthly checks to?
Well, Enercare is a really big one in Canada. You see their name a lot.
Right.
But there are others too. Reliance Home Comfort is another major player. They do water heaters, HVAC, even water purification systems.
Okay.
Then you got companies like AWHR Canada. They focus a lot on water heaters, rentals, and protection plans. Cricket Energy is another one. Water heaters, heat pumps, ACs.
So it's not just one company running the show.
Not at all. And don't forget, sometimes your local utility company might offer rentals or even, independent plumbing and HVAC companies in your area. Gotcha. The really crucial thing to remember, though, is that the terms, the buyout costs, the cancellation rules, they can be very different depending on who the provider is. You really have to read the fine print for each one.
So my neighbor and I could have the same water heater, but totally different deals. Like mine's easy to get out of, theirs is Fort Knox.
Exactly that. You need to look closely at things like how much written notice you need to give to cancel. What's the process for returning the unit? Do they pick it up? Do you drop it off? And definitely watch out for those early termination fees. If you try to break the contract early, it can cost you, sometimes a lot.
Okay, that's a big heads up. So let's say you move in, you find out about this rental. The huge question, are you stuck? Do you just have to keep paying?
Well, generally. If the rental was properly disclosed by the seller when you bought the house, then, yeah, the buyer usually assumes a contract. It just transfers over with the property.
Disclosure is the magic word then. It all hinges on whether they told you about it in the paperwork.
Absolutely. Sellers in Canada have a legal obligation to disclose these rental contracts. It should be right there in the agreement of purchase and sale, the APS.
The APS. Okay, so if it's listed there, you probably inherited the rental payments.
Most likely, yes.
But what if it wasn't disclosed? What if it was a surprise rental, like truly hidden?
Okay. If it wasn't in the APS, then you might have grounds to challenge it. You could potentially argue that the seller should cover the buyout cost or pay to have the darn thing removed.
Ooh, interesting. Leverage?
Non-disclosure can definitely give you some leverage, yeah.
So what's step one if you discover this surprise? Do you call the rental company yelling?
Maybe hold off on the yelling initially. First step, grab that agreement of purchase and sale, your APS, and read it very carefully. See if there's any mention of rentals.
Okay, check the paperwork.
Right, and if you're confused or if it definitely wasn't disclosed and you think it should have been, honestly, the best move is to talk to a real estate lawyer.
Get professional advice.
Exactly. They can explain your specific situation, your rights, and what your options are.
Makes sense. Okay, let's say it was disclosed or you decide to live with it for a while, but then down the road you think, I'm done renting this thing, I want to own it. What can you do then?
You basically have two main paths. One, just keep renting it, follow the contract. Two, look into buying it out, owning it outright.
All right, path 2 sounds appealing if you hate monthly fees. How do you start the buyout process?
First thing is you got to contact the rental company directly. You need some key info from them.
Like what?
You need to know exactly how much time is left on your contract.
Yeah.
You need to understand precisely what the contract covers, like are repairs included, is maintenance, and the big one, what's the current buyout cost? How much to make it yours today? Also, ask if there's a service plan included in your rental fee, because that has value too.
Right, got to get all the facts. So, once you have the numbers, how do you weigh the pros and cons, renting versus buying?
Well, renting means no big upfront payment, right? The lower initial cost. And if repairs were included, that can save you unexpected bills if it breaks down. That's the pro side.
Okay.
The con side is those monthly fees add up. Over 10 or 15 years, you could end up paying way more than the appliance was ever worth. Plus, you don't own it.
Yeah, the slow drip of monthly payments.
Yeah.
So the buyout, how does that usually work? Is it always an option?
Most companies do offer a buyout option, yeah, but the price, oh boy, the price depends heavily on the age of the unit.
How so?
If it's pretty new, say only 1 to 5 year old, the buyout can be surprisingly expensive. We're talking like maybe $1,000, maybe up to $5,000, sometimes even more based on what we've seen.
Whoa, that's a lot for a used water heater.
It can be, yeah. They calculate it based on depreciation schedules and the remaining contract value. Newer stuff costs more to buy out.
Okay, what about older units? If it's been faithfully heating your water for like 8 years, is it cheaper then?
Generally, yes. For older units, maybe 6 years plus, the buyout cost should be lower. Sometimes, after a certain number of years, like maybe 15, some companies might even transfer ownership to you for free or a nominal fee.
Really?
Yeah, it's worth asking. And here's a tip. Check your actual contract document. Some older contracts might even have a clause saying ownership automatically transfers to the homeowner after X number of years.
Huh. A hidden escape hatch, potentially. Good tip.
Definitely worth checking.
Okay, so buyout is one way to end the rental. What if you just want it gone? Like, come get your appliance, I'm buying my own. Can you just cancel?
You usually can, yes. Returning the unit and canceling the contract is possible. But again, the policies differ between companies.
What's usually involved?
You'll almost certainly need to submit a formal cancellation request, usually in writing.
Okay, paper trail.
Right. And then you need to figure out the return. Don't assume they'll just come get it for free.
Fees involved.
Often, yes. Companies like Reliance or Enercare might charge a pickup fee to come uninstall it and take it away. In some situations, you might actually be responsible for disconnecting it safely by a professional and returning it to one of their depots yourself.
Wow, okay, so you got to clarify that return process.
Absolutely. Get it straight from them before you cancel.
Yeah. Now, what about the temptation? You know, you're getting a new furnace anyway, the installer is there. What happens if you just tell them, hey, while you're at it, just yank that old rental unit out and haul it away?
Oh, that's a big flashing warning sign right there. Don't do it.
Why not? It's in my house.
But it's not your property until you've bought it out or officially returned it. The rental company still legally owns that piece of equipment.
Right. Ownership.
If you remove it without authorization, or worse, scrap it, you could be in for a world of hurt.
Like what kind of hurt?
They could charge you the full buyout price for the unit you just got rid of. They might refuse to even cancel your contract because the unit wasn't returned according to procedure. And they could even send collection agencies after you for the value of their missing equipment.
Yikes. Okay, message received. Don't go rogue on the rental removal.
Definitely not. The absolute best practice is always, always contact the rental provider before you remove, replace, or even heavily modify anything that's under contract.
Okay. So communication is key. Now, let's say you have contacted them and you're looking at this huge buyout fee or maybe a massive cancellation penalty. Are you just stuck, or can you push back? Can you negotiate?
You can certainly try. It's always worth asking.
What kind of approach works?
Well, you could ask for a settlement. Maybe they'll agree to a lower buyout price just to close the account.
Okay.
If you feel the contract wasn't properly disclosed when you got the house, you can bring that up. Request a contract review based on the potential non-disclosure. That can sometimes give you leverage.
Use the disclosure issue.
Right. And if you feel like the company's practices are genuinely unfair or misleading, you could even consider filing a complaint with the Competition Bureau of Canada. Knowing your rights gives you options.
Good to know there are avenues. So, wrapping this up for people who haven't bought yet or are planning to soon, what are the absolute must-dos to avoid getting caught by these rental surprises?
Okay, crucial steps for buyers. Number 1, ask. Ask your realtor, ask the seller up front, are there any rental agreements for any equipment in this house?
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Number 2, check that agreement of purchase and sale, the APS, with a fine-tooth comb. Look for any mention of assumed rental contracts.
Read the fine print.
Read it. Number 3, before you sign anything final, make sure you review all the contracts related to the property, including getting copies of any rental agreements if they exist. Understand the terms before you commit.
Know what you're signing up for?
Exactly. And finally, number 4, if there is a rental and you don't want it, consider negotiating the buyout price as part of the deal for the house. Maybe the seller pays it, maybe it's split. Negotiate it before closing.
Get it sorted before the keys change hands. Smart.
You can save a lot of hassle later.
Absolutely. So yeah, doing a little homework, asking those questions, it really can save you from unexpected bills and major headaches.
It's funny, isn't it? You buy a house, and sometimes you get a free long-term financial commitment to an appliance rental company thrown in.
It's a quirky part of homeownership sometimes, but honestly, being proactive, asking those questions, it just empowers you. It saves time, saves money, saves stress.
Couldn't agree more. So next time you're walking through an open house, maybe peek at the water heater, glance at the furnace, and just ask the question. It's a small detail, but it can have big implications.
And hey, remember, if you are looking to buy, sell, or invest in Peel Region, Brampton, Caledon, Mississauga, you should really connect with Laddi Dhillon. With all that experience since 2007, he and his team can guide you through all these details, rentals included. Make sure you're making a really educated decision.
That informed decision is key. It's the best tool you have.
Absolutely. Well, this has been enlightening. Until our next deep dive, keep asking questions, everyone.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will be back with something new and something interesting.